your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Hello. Happy Thursday. Yes, you got Jezzi in the hot seat today. Jnine is pulling up as we speak. I'm telling you, this Las Vegas traffic will do some things to you. But here we are with another episode of Get It Together, and very happy to come to you and say hello, and see how everybody's doing. I'm good. I showed up. Jnine is on the way. She is getting ready to sit in her seat. So I am going to just kick right off and talk about a little bit what I did over the weekend. I went to a foodie festival. Me and Jnine actually went to a foodie festival at Palms Casino this weekend, and on Saturday. It was small, intimate, but it was nice. Enjoyed it. And we had lobster, but I don't know how I feel about this little foodie festival. It was a little too small, but I would do it again. Because we have another one coming up this Thursday. No, next weekend. My apologies. We have another one coming up next weekend. Cinco de Mayo weekend, as a matter of fact. We have one coming up for Cinco de Mayo, and I am very excited about it. And I'm going to bring my sister in, Miss Jnine.
I need to see what's going on. Okay, slide my body or slide the mic? Where we at? Because I ain't in the rightful position. What's happening?
Here we go.
Welcome to Thursday.
Right?
Sister, get it together. Listen, let me tell you something. Driving is stressful, okay? And I'll be doing my best. It's the first time I think I've ever been late in almost this whole 9 or 10 months, and I can understand how it feels. Because I'll be trying to get to the listeners. I'll be trying to get to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ran over cats and shit trying to get here. No, I'm just playing. Nobody was injured in my course of getting here. But driving is stressful.
Yes,
it really is. It's a stressful event, especially if you're not. We on the schedule that we on now, because we now on corporate schedules again.
Yes, we are corporate schedules once again.
So
you want to take a moment to breathe and breathe it in, and
we gonna do that anyway. I need to take a minute. Everybody, just take a minute. That's listening.
Yes,
and let's do our breathe in and breathe out, because I still have my purse on my lap, because I want to make sure that I am prepared for. What we finna bring y'all today. We've had some very exciting shows, and this one is no different. So here we go. Everybody together. Inhale. Good for the soul. And exhale. Let it all go. So, how was your Thursday? How you doing? So you holding it down, holding the fort down?
Right. Thank you very much. My Thursday's good. No complaints. I mean, I have a baby girl that's on her way to South Korea. She's in flight as we speak. And so I'm sending all the peace, all the love, all the light and protection all along her route for her entire stay. So I will say that
God bless you, Rihanna, and your travels.
Safe travels.
Disperse the angels as all of us travel, because look, just getting here was a task. I ain't gonna lie. So imagine going to other countries.
You felt my pain last weekend.
Well, mine was an oversight. I don't know what was going on with you, but I can feel the pain for sure.
Well, I told you it was traffic.
Well, mine wasn't traffic. I've moved to a different location, so my navigation, I'm all girl. So when it comes to navigation, I'm not necessarily the one to remember patterns. I mean, that's how I remember. Actually, it's by patterns, not necessarily by take me once and remember. That's a man thing. Maybe it's a female thing too, but definitely not in my repertoire of things to do is getting to places. So
in a timely fashion.
I knew that you were speaking on the 626 market.
That's what it was called. I call it the Palms Foodie Festival. My apologies to all of anybody I misquoted for your title. My apologies.
Yeah, so
it was the 626
market,
626
which is
market, okay.
California based. So I think this was the first time them doing it in Las Vegas, and it was all right.
It was small. It was very small.
It was small. And I noticed, at least in the comments, it had mentioned that there's like an Asian flair to it. A lot of these foodies that I've been to over the last little bit have definitely been...
just okay?
No, not just okay, but like...
influenced by Asian?
With an Asian spin on it,
okay.
yeah. So you'll find more Asian dishes and Asian vendors.
No.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm just speaking on what I read.
That's interesting.
And what the types of foods that are available. So, but shout out to anybody that's out there grinding with their trucks and their products and services.
To get it in.
And it's about to get hot.
Yeah, it's getting hot. It's heating up quick, fast out here.
It is.
Summertime in Vegas is no joke.
No joke. So I think I even so I wanted to dive into the whole little. I'm not even calling it a Ratchet Restaurant report at this point. we're just doing a little sidekick of inspections. I want to keep up with those because they affect the whole community. And since there isn't anybody necessarily bringing that information to you, you have to go dig for it, and most people are not willing to do that.
Right.
Then I'm bringing it to you. The Get It Together is bringing you this information. And I'm only looking mainly at this point for people who were either closed down or got C merits, 30 merits or more.
Significant infractions.
I needed to know that, they were in violation of some things that the people need to know about. I will say this, from about 422 to 426, there were a lot of A grades.
Oh, well, that's good. I like good news when it comes to our food and where we dine.
Correct.
I like to hear that.
So that's important. The schools, because those are included, the school cafeterias.
Good.
So
very good.
Needless to say, everybody's pretty much doing what they're supposed to do overall when they do their either annual or the pop-up.
Very good.
So the ones that made the list that didn't do all that great, there's an All Seasons Diner. They got 20 demerits. They're on Spring Mountain. They got a B grade. Now, the reason why I think it's important to even speak on the B grade is because when you go in a restaurant in an establishment, that's supposed to be posted no matter what the grade, unless they were shut down.
Right. I remember I asked you that.
Visible to the public. So it should be up on entrance somewhere.
Okay.
Between your entrance and the service station.
Okay.
Because if you don't see one, you might not want to dine there. You might want to ask a few questions. Where's your grade, your inspection grade? Because every restaurant, every food truck, anybody who is deemed to do business in the community on that scale has a letter grade. They have a certain, they have their grade up on the wall. So anyway, theirs was some temperature and storage. And when you start getting 5s, I'm pretty sure there's other shit going on.
Okay.
Because 5 is your top. You were out of compliance in a few areas when you start getting 5s.
Okay.
3s, okay. And then basically there was something on there about the person who was in charge had no to little knowledge of the infractions. So
when you go from the A to the 1, 2, 3s, what's the difference in the grading?
Numbers.
Okay.
So it's like your 100%, and then your 90%, 70%, same concept.
Okay.
So it's the same like educational type grade, just based on, a set of criteria that these restaurants should be upholding.
Okay.
And so, the points. So your point systems, your 5s, your 3s, and you get up to a certain point, 30 demerits start looking ugly.
Okay.
30 and over starts looking real crazy. And then there's some that are imminent danger. So you are getting shut down as we speak, because I can't even walk in here and act right. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we had one of those. Unco Frank's Hawaiian Barbecue. And I don't really know where they're located. They had 29 demerits, but they had some holding and running water issues. They got a C grade. It's a 5. But what really kind of caught my attention was the Crack Shack, because they're fairly new, if I'm not mistaken.
Shack.
So the Crack Shack is on 3770 South Las Vegas Boulevard. So they're right here. And I don't remember a Crack Shack on Las Vegas Boulevard in recent history, so I don't know how old they are.
Okay.
But I will say that there was some hand washing and some proper gloves, some proper temperatures, either in storage or in holding, and their grade card was not visible.
Oh,
so I run that back.
Okay.
Yeah, so grade cards need to be visible when you guys are going to these establishments and to these food trucks. Even when you stick your head in, you ought to be able to see it or ask for it.
Right. I wonder what their initial grade card was for
Well,
them
I went
not
back
to
and
have
looked
it
at,
on display.
I went back and looked at their history, and it looked like they were that they had maybe one other C grade before.
Okay.
But it had been a little time. So they've been a couple years there.
Okay.
From what I could see. And this was on 6/26/22, they had 33 demerits. But it didn't quite say what their offenses were then.
That's why that card was hidden. On that strip, because people probably pay attention to it going on the strip, because it's a lot of tourism. So they have to be a little bit more cognizant of where they decide to stop in and eat, which makes sense, because they don't know what they're getting. They're tourists here.
Oh, Nicole Nash, she said, that's why I love my family to life, and there's nothing that will separate my love of my child. Correct. Is that what I'm reading? Or am I seeing something different?
I don't know.
Okay, well, yeah. Shout out to the kids and the children. So, yeah, that was a little questionable. So there was the grade card was not posted, or consumer advisory, which is the same thing.
Okay.
So I guess I would interpret that, but then this is my crazy humor. That means everybody coming through the door, you better tell them what grades you got. It's consumer advisory.
Okay.
If you don't have a sign posted, then somebody needs to be
talking. And they ain't talking. They ain't going to tell you anything less than an A grade.
They're not. So moving right along, China Kitchen was shut down by the Southern Nevada Health District for imminent hazard. And the only thing that I could really make out of that was gross unsanitary or conditions which include pest infestation. So I'm not saying that as a disclosure that it was a pest infestation, but what I am saying, it was gross.
Okay.
It was such a gross that you got shut down. So they only had, that's the thing, they only had 31 demerits, which is not necessarily going to constitute
a
closure.
Shutdown, right.
But it's funny because if you find one, you're going to find one. You're going to find all the flaws. And so they were shut down. They are 4570 East Tropicana. So if you go into China Kitchen, which I pause and breathe. You need to watch what you're eating and where you're dining.
Exactly. And have them grades out. That's why people want to see. Be careful.
That's what people want to see. So, I don't have my phone. So I noticed a lot of my people, everybody act like they forget we on Thursdays.
Really?
They better wake up. Because
How
I
y'all
come all the
forget?
way over here to show y'all some love
Right.
and give you some prolific information. But I will say this. Go back and watch some of the shows. Share some of the shows, because we've definitely given a lot of jewels, from the restaurant industry to dating to you name it. I think your volume's up. But let me talk a little bit. I know y'all didn't think we were not going to touch. Let's go back to the Food Fest. March 5th through 7th, we have tickets to give away. And
Yay.
we want you to call in.
Yay.
We want you to call in at any time.
Let's put this number.
And 702-551-5261. Call in. It's the Foodie Fest that we've participated in with the Best of Your City. And they are showing up again at Craig Ranch Park, May 5th through 7th. So we will be out there. I want to be out there Cinco de Mayo. You heard?
Yep. I'm there.
So anybody want to win 2 tickets to the Foodie Fest, Craig Ranch Park, May 5th through 7th? Can I get a caller? Can I get a caller? So let's talk a little bit about this explosion. I know y'all didn't think we were going to let that slide. So earlier we had an explosion in the dairy farm, the South Fork Dairy Farm in Dimmitt, Texas, that killed 18,000 cows. I tried my best not to do a conspiracy theory because I like to bring factual information.
Right.
And anything else is an unction of my spirit, okay? That means I got a little bit of insight that is personal to me.
A knowing, that ain't necessarily written somewhere or spoken somewhere, but that knowing is real.
Very. So it was labeled accidental this month. I think somewhere around the 7th of April, they ruled it accidental by the state fire marshal. And they're saying the origin is equipment failure. It just sounds so interesting saying this because then it says, in comma, accidental presence of liquid fuel, hydraulic oil, and other flammable and combustible materials accidentally. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, it allowed the fire to grow so fast that the operator couldn't control it, and the explosion resulted is what they call a smoke explosion. Now, I find it interesting, not so much, I guess, that a whole barn containing 18,000 cattle, that's not, but I find it interesting that it had happened in the same town or the same state earlier. Now, I didn't go back and look at that and look at the numbers, but it was quoted in that article as well.
Yeah, it was. I read through the article, and it was a quite large amount of cows that was killed in that one, too. I think 200?
So I want to know, how is that insurance claim going to work?
Really?
Well, yes, I do. And the reason I want to know is, and I'm not being insensitive, because I think that is a gross negligence.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
have not mitigated or had things in place to ensure that if in the event of a fire, there won't be an explosion.
Right.
Okay. A fire is one thing, an explosion is something else. So, but the reason why I bring up the claim is because that's not considered negligent. To have flammables within so many feet of livestock, let alone people.
Yeah, I'm certain.
And what you gonna do with the livestock? Because we did a show about a month ago now on this fake chicken.
Right.
And what the fake chicken needs in order to really thrive in this cookie pantry they putting it in.
Right.
In this easy bake oven that they putting this fake chicken in. And I'm not saying that there's some correlation, because if something explodes, I don't know what's left.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't have a clue. I don't even know how they discarded all of that livestock. Because I'm sure, I'm not even sure, but.
Not either. But I just thought we'd touch on it as foodies, because I'm always concerned about the aftermath of certain things and what's done with it when you think about what they're putting on our shelves and what they're putting in the stores. And we're just trying to give you some game.
You know, it's interesting because I did a little digging today too. The phone?
Sure is.
Oh, the phone is ringing. We got a caller. We got a
702.5 FM. We got the engineer over there. Hello?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, we may have lost him. Wonder how come we can't hear it. All right, we're going to need you to call back in.
Yeah, call back in. We want you to call in, win some tickets to the Foodie Festival next weekend, Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's going to be lit.
2 tickets right
Craig
now,
Ranch.
702-551-5261. So, I just thought I'd throw that in there because I think that that's a worthy topic.
It is.
Those kind of things go away really quickly, and before you know it,
you on to something next.
Yeah. So I don't know how you replenish that, or if you serve it up, or do you go in and discard? I mean, there's a lot to be said about that. But
we got a caller.
I just thought I'd throw that in. Hot 702.5 FM and get it together with Jnine Jezzi.
Hello.
Hi, this is Irene.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. I don't need any tickets.
You was just calling in. What's on your mind, Mama?
I don't have anything about food. I was just sitting there watching TV, and just a quick note. I was watching the draft for the NFL. So I looked it up, and the first round draft picks make $41 million.
First round.
Oh.
That was all.
Well, that's enough.
Thanks for that nugget. And by the way,
and these young boys, and no wonder their mothers are crying.
Yeah, those are tears of joy.
Tears, right? Because they life about to change.
First draft pick, $41 million. I love that. I love that you even brought that to the table.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so I was just watching these draft picks. Their families are crying. Their mothers are crying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Crying.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, the draft is happening. It is.
It's that weekend, huh?
That week.
Oh, the whole week.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mom, for that information.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I know where I need to be this weekend.
I just thought that was interesting.
It is.
Aren't they out
so
here?
I just had to say it.
Are they out here, if I'm not mistaken?
The draft pick? I don't think so.
I don't know where they are.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But I tell you, thank you for that. Good information.
So, okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye, Mom.
Later.
Love you.
Thanks for calling.
Okay.
You heard that? $41 million for the first draft pick.
Yeah.
That's the kind of money that's running around.
That's changing lives real quick. Mm-hmm. And I just want one. Just give me one of the 40.
And it's going to happen, too. Stop playing with me.
Just one of the 40.
It is. So, anyway, we're going to move right along in terms of...
But I had something in regards to, because I was going through the agriculture news and I was interested to see if there were any trends. And I was looking for the beef article. That's what I was looking for. And mind you, when you say stuff goes away quick, couldn't find it. Mm-hmm. Couldn't find it in the agriculture news. And I went to a couple of sites.
Right.
And I was surprised that I couldn't find that information.
And without no surprise, because they're only going to give you what they want you to what they want you to know, and if somebody happens to capture it, because we're so on the spot now,
right? And with our short attention spans,
and then they go and scrub the net. So, but you're gonna hear it fresh here on Hot 702.5 FM. We'll get it together. Yes, you are, because that's what we're trying to do.
Keep it together. I have found some articles on, which is interesting because it ties into the chicken, because last year they killed 9,000 hens in Missouri for the avian flu. Bird flu prompted a slaughter of 1.8 million chickens in November of last year. And y'all saw now there's this huge push for the fake chicken. So that's how I tie all this together.
So let me just say, too, that chicken is on the streets already. Because what better way than to tell people you're already eating it? Because most people are going to say, oh, well, if it didn't have no effect and I didn't grow no chicken legs, then I guess it's okay. Right. It's already out there. Yeah. I'm very clear of it because
I feel you 1,000%.
We're all test dummies in a lot of various ways to see the effects.
Yeah, and there's too many chicken spots everywhere. Everywhere. Hot chicken this, Houston hot chicken that, crispy chicken this. It's just everywhere. And a lot of them have popped up.
And it's the parts that you need to be concerned about. It's the parts. Because they're not manufacturing whole chickens, let's be clear. They're manufacturing parts. So the chicken breast and whatever, I guess it might be all white meat at this point. That wasn't specified. Because dark meat you can only really get by the veins. That's what makes the dark meat. Because you think about dark meat is your legs and your thighs. That's how the chicken moves around. So that's where the blood is, which is what makes that the dark meat.
Okay.
Right? So I don't know that we're going to be seeing dark meat anymore. I mean, maybe you'll see, I don't know. I don't have that answer, but I will say I do feel that the restaurants are already serving it. And maybe even some distributors are already, have already divvied it up and put it on the shelves, is all I'm saying. We already knew chicken was cooked, was different and frying different and coming out different. But, hey, to each his own. I'm not a vegan or vegetarian yet.
But I'm telling you.
But I do a lot of intermittent fasting, guys, and I speak on it again. I do because I need to purge the body, give it a chance to rest.
Right.
I need to put my stomach in subjection so that it ain't running me.
Right.
And I need to hear from God. So I need discernment. And sometimes when your stomach's growling, like I said before, you can't really hear if it's growling to the point that it's controlling you because it's so used to you feeding it, okay? So I just think you need to get a hold of that by fasting, and that's always recommended. Even if you choose to eat whatever you choose to eat, back away from it every now and again. And that just leads us right on into these energy vampires.
Ooh-wee.
We are in the second half of the soul food.
Here we are.
Listen up. I think it's really important.
Yeah,
I really do.
I absolutely agree. And they come in all shape, form, and fashion.
I'm going to need you to take that away for a second. I need you to just speak on. Because at first I was going to go to the dictionary. And then I was going to go and do a little research because you can query everything.
Right.
But then something said no.
Okay.
Speak from your heart and your experience about energy vampires and what it really means, because it's pretty simple. Everybody knows what a vampire does.
Right.
So,
I mean, from my perspective, I know it's someone that pretty much seeks you out because they sense your energy, and then they come to you and they want to talk, and either they're spilling or they are just presenting to you themselves, but they want you to pour into them, and they need your energy, they need your light, they need your understanding, they need your direction, and they come to you often. And some energy vampires usually only show up when they want something. They're not showing up constantly for you, they're showing up for them, and they may pretend like they care a little bit about what you got going on. That ain't why they're there. That's not why they've showed up at your doorstep. That's not why they calling you on the phone. And someone said something very interesting to me today, because she's an empath, and she said, I can tell when someone's calling to get something from me. She was like, it's not that my phone rings different, but the energy from that phone ringing is different. And I know
absolutely
at that point that they're calling
absolutely to
get something from you, and they won't necessarily pour back into you. And that the part that bothers me the most is that they'll come and suck you dry, but then you'll be left
shook.
Exactly.
What the hell just happened?
Your energy is off now. Your energy is different. You're like, damn, why am I irritated now?
The whole energy exchange.
Yeah, it just the energy just exchanged. They're probably feeling great, uplifted. They called you and got everything they needed to feel better, to work through whatever it is, grief or sadness or depression, anxiety, whatever they were trying to work through. They just called you to transmute those feelings. But guess who got left with that baggage?
So it's important to note with that is that there are people that are designed for that. Everyday people are not designed to take all your shit.
Right.
And for you to call, because here's the deal. These vampires sometimes don't know that they are.
True.
And sometimes they do.
And sometimes they do.
Especially when it's somebody who you already know doesn't always mean you well or pour into you or want you to grow, but somehow they seem to be showing up. So when I fast for discernment for that type of stuff, because I don't have time to be filtering through a whole bunch of personalities to figure out who's who and who's what.
Right.
These vampires come to steal, kill, and destroy. And they don't know it. So it's not always the person. We're talking about energy.
Energies.
We're talking about spiritual. We're talking about,
Yes.
people having a need to gravitate to people, to get validation from people, to get information and uplifting from people. And that's cool when it's a decent exchange.
Yes.
Yeah.
There has to
And
be
then
an
sometimes
exchange there.
there's times where people that are close to you can call you, like, don't call me trying to get an update on my life unless you in my life.
Right.
So you can ward off many of that type of introduction and spirit by simply keeping your conversations very short with those types of people.
Right.
Right? Get in, get out. If
Right.
there's somebody that you associate with, or somebody that you used to date, or somebody that you used to, be in love with, and they know that you could have an impact on just their day. Their whole
Exactly.
existence
Right.
could be based on your light and your energy and your success and your money and whatever the things are that they feel they're attracted to. They will drain you, and you have to see it coming. So that phone call, and I can
Yes.
tell when somebody's not aligned with spiritual direction by how they interrupt my life. So if I'm in the middle of doing something and I know that I'm, sometimes about timing.
Right.
And so if their timing's off, cut the conversation. Cut the conversation, because it might just be your timing, but it is about you.
Right.
Yeah, you got to be very wary and cautious of the vampire drainers, because it's just that.
Yeah.
They come to suck.
And in all honesty, I'm not even going to lie. They come in all forms, too. I mean, I'm in a current occupation where there are actually people that I don't know are calling me seeking something, and then they'll just continue to call me because they want to talk to me and, like, get my energy to
And you
to
can't
fill their
always
day.
let people know that you're smart, or that you
Yeah.
have all the answers, and not all the answers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't really let them know that. Some people you just can't, because it takes a lot to pour into people, and I'm telling you, that's a gift,
Right.
because you
Right.
have to be able to know where to go when the energy is low.
Yes, you do. And
Because if somebody calls and they actually they really need you, you want to be able to have that
absolutely
to give to
in
them.
your arsenal to give.
Yeah, it might be, a loss, or, whatever's going on in people's lives. And so you want to make sure that your energy is prepared for everything, but that you eliminate the negativity and the drainage.
Yes.
Because you're just not going to sit on the phone and drain my energy. And I can feel it leaving when the conversation gets a little challenging, or, I can feel the change in tempo.
You can
Yeah,
feel
the
it.
record just scratched. I got to go.
You
So
know,
we got
yeah.
these 2 tickets. Y'all better call in. You better get these tickets. 702-551-5261. Give us a call.
Someone is asking, do we answer questions?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Of
Call
a wide range.
Please. And call in 702-551-5261.
You can type it in if you want to. We will respond.
Yes.
We love the interaction and the involvement.
Yes, we do.
And there's no question that we cover the gamut.
Yeah, we talk about a little everything.
Because our motto is, we've been doing this. About to coin it. Y'all don't even know. We've been doing this.
Yes, I like that, girl. Mm-hmm. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yeah, so I think the important thing to do is know yourself enough that when disruption happens, change it. Make a move. Leave the room.
Right.
Don't go. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to trust that inner thought, and that inner thought, it's not going to steer you wrong.
Right. I agree.
If anything, it's going to enhance your vision. It's going to enhance your vision.
I agree. Even like at work, I will look and call and be like, I'm going to go ahead and let them leave their message, and I'm going to call them back, but I'm going to control the conversation because I know why they're calling. And that
control the conversation.
I have that with people too. And, there are a lot of men out there too now that seek out women that they know are spiritually grounded or spiritually enlightened.
And, that's the thing of the past too. Like, men knew that if they wanted a wholesome girl, whatever that is, that's not my, it's just.
Right.
They would go to church.
Right.
So it's the same concept, except women particularly, and we're hoping that men catch up. Some men have not. There's two greater of you that have not elevated to a point of a spiritual relationship that, takes you to the next level because it challenges you to be the best person you can be.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same concept. Women have evolved, not necessarily, so they are looking for that kind of spiritual, because they really do feel that women bring peace and solace and, praying for her man and praying for the household. We've been known to be weepers according to, the Bible teachings that we learned is that women are weepers. And I think that interpretation is we are empathetic.
Yes,
we are feelers. So even though our spirits might be, strong at the same time, sometimes it's crying out because we can empathize with what's going on around us. You have to be very careful about that too, because it can affect you physically.
Yes, it can. Absolutely.
Tell you a story. My sister, shout out to Sess.
Hey, Willette is online.
And she just got online.
Don't ignore her voice. Don't ignore that inner voice, right?
Listen, I can't even see that you joined. I kind of got a glimpse, but I was just getting ready to give you a story a little bit about how she went to go see a physical therapist or a chiropractor. Mm-hmm. And this isn't necessarily a chiropractor's nature to dive into spiritual things, but he pretty much called her out as an empath and told her that you're no good unless you take care of yourself.
Period. And
what he was saying was, I can fix your back and your neck and all of these other things that are your crooks, but I can't fix your soul that's weary. He didn't say this, but this is my interpretation. He can't fix the weariness of your spirit from being exhausted. Those are things that he can't fix. All he can do is open up the airwaves and passageways in your body physically, because a lot of that is joints and they need to be, popped out and stretched out and that kind of stuff. But stress is tenseful.
Yeah. It is. And it stores itself in your body.
And it stores in your body. And you need to know how your body responds. Mine's is going to be on my left side. It's going to be some weird shit going on. And I know that my stress level is a little high.
Oh, okay.
And that's because I had a sciatic.
Okay.
The sciatica, I think when it goes on for a long period of time, can do some nerve damage because it is a nerve that runs all, down your back, down your leg, all the way down to your feet. It's a major, major nerve. And so that sciatica, when it's damaged, it's painful. But I noticed that I probably was mangled inside from exhaustion. So imagine your body kind of like absorbing a whole bunch of water, like a towel. And so it gets real heavy and probably mangled, which is why they, talk about you got pinched nerves and things like that.
Right.
Some of that is natural. Some of it, when I say natural, it's by design, because we don't all have perfect spines. We don't sleep well. We don't have the right pillows. We don't lay right. All these other factors.
Right.
But then you couple that with stress and knowing that stress makes you tense. All I could see visually when he said that to her was, she's in a knot.
Oh, wow.
And so as he stretches her out physically to get all of the oxygen that needs to be flowing in between our joints, there needs to be oxygen in between and blood flow in between our joints and all of that padding going on. He said you're going to need to work on your inside.
Oh, work on that spirit, work on your soul.
Yeah. So
rest your soul, rejuvenate your soul. So when you have those gifts, that empathetic gift, you have to rejuvenate yourself. You have to take time away. You have to go into solitude sometimes just to refocus, reground,
honey,
and
we might
rejuvenate.
just need some spring water. You might need to hit Palm Springs or, hit Arizona. And you might have to go get your body inside some natural spring water
yes,
too.
I agree 1,000%.
You might have to make that happen.
Ooh, let's sound like a vacation plan. Sound like we planning a vacation real soon.
Needs to. Definitely needs to. Yeah, so be weary of the people that come in your lives. They usually have a pattern.
True.
They don't often call with good news. And when they do, it immediately is about them, and they're looking for you to lift them up and give them all kind of praises and kudos. I mean, it's a very imbalanced communication system between vampires and empaths.
Yes, it is.
So you gotta have some defense. You gotta definitely have some tools to see them coming and hang up the phone, exit the room, cut the conversation, keep it short.
Do whatever you gotta do.
Because sometimes it's hard to shake the spirit once it's on you.
I've had that.
And face the day.
I've had that a few times. Unfortunately, where maybe on there are occasions where I've been that person where I have reached out and maybe just caused a ruckus, and then I'll be gone on my merry way. I'll be back to whatever I was doing and on my merry way.
Not cause a ruckus.
Well,
And I'm out. Yeah, okay.
I try not to do that. I kind of try to be a listener more than I am, trying to spill, because I like to listen and let people get stuff off of them.
Yeah.
But then I have to get stuff off of me.
Right. Can I share my experience without a tit for tat?
Exactly.
And you definitely ain't got to go with me if I tell you, my life was messed up, and you tell you, well, mine was even worse, and then mine was 3 times worse. Like, stop it. So,
right.
Yeah, it does need to be a healthy exchange of, and I don't always have to dump this time, but maybe you go ahead and say what you need to say this time. So,
right.
But that's a relationship. People that have developed, sisterhood and brotherhood.
Right.
That's people that's close to you.
Exactly.
We're talking about, and they can be very draining as well, but we're talking about vampires. We're talking about people who intentionally come for you for the light you present.
And then disappear.
And then they're gone. They get their feel like a vampire. They suck their blood, and then they're gone. And now you talking about, I can't get up. I'm tired,
Right.
I can't face today. I'm depressed. Mm-hmm.
Don't know why you feel that way.
Yeah.
All because of conversation you probably didn't even think twice that you had.
And they dropped it off.
And they dropped it on your doorstep.
Yeah. So, and this could be your employer. This can be, even people that are close to you without intent. So that's why I say it's not always the person that you need to look at. Sometimes you just need to look beyond that,
right,
and see what people's intentions are. Some people are hungry. Some people are looking for good energy in a way that it just inspires them. So there's all kind of motives behind why somebody might want to be in your space.
Yes,
that's not normally in your space, or in your space, and you can't seem to shake them, because they are sucking up everything you have to offer.
And there's a lot of those.
And it is.
It's a lot of those.
And in this day and age, we need the empaths and the people who are feelers who can navigate through troubled waters. We need them, you know what I'm saying? So it's a gift. It truly is.
Right.
And I had to learn how to use that because I could go in a room, and you notice I did this one time in the pepper meal. I pretty much navigated a whole couple's conversation and energy by the way their body movement. So I can walk in a room, and sometimes my defense is so tough.
Yes.
Because I can feel the different spirits moving around. And I will either bow out or make sure I avoid certain people or certain areas where certain things are going on. Because I want to be the first one out the door if there's some shit jumping down.
Sure do. Sure do.
And I'm
9
looking.
times out of 10, that inner voice is going to let you know. Skirt.
Right. Right.
Skirt.
Shout out to the Kings right now. I mean, the Knights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're playing. Shout out to the Knights. It's the other K. It's the other K. It's the Vegas Knights. Shout out to the Vegas Knights. Get that win. Get that W.
All right. Do your thing tonight out here.
Yeah, and shout out to the visitors of Las Vegas. Because I like the ones that know how to treat the locals when they run into the locals.
I do too. I ain't gonna lie. I do too.
There's always a party.
I do too. I like when the visitors come and meet the locals and they're like, oh, yes, it's a party. But we don't come down here too often.
Speaking of party, we're going to be at the Foodie Fest the 5th, the 6th, the 7th. We have tickets to give away.
Yes, please call in.
You can even put it in the chat at this point, and we will put you on the guest list. First one to put it in the chat can get the tickets. They can get it. So, yeah, there's a couple other things going on. I believe it is the Tamale and Taco Festival, which is a challenge for me because I have been asking, where are the good tacos? I mean, fire tacos. I mean, Mexican tacos. Where are they in Las Vegas? And I see it a lot. So this will be an opportunity. I'm going to slide in there.
Is it this weekend
It's
too?
this weekend.
Ooh, it's going to be a busy weekend, huh?
It is. And you wonder why I fast, why I take time to
Willette,
push away.
Sis wants some tickets.
All right, 2 tickets it is.
You got it. You are
To
on
Willette
the
Jordan.
list. You are on the list.
So your tickets will be at will call, and we'll make sure of that. We will confirm with you. We have a winner.
Yeah.
Chicken dinner. We need to change that. So, yeah, I'm interested to get these to see what tacos and tamales are doing. I think this is out at it's a park over on this side, and I don't have the information. Sorry to be coming shorthanded, but I can put it in the chat later on. Just look up tacos and tamales. Look at me, tacos and tequila.
That go together too?
Well, and it's interesting because they do have an alcohol package.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's either going to be taste testing or something like that, but there is an alcohol package when you purchase your ticket. So it very well could be tacos, tamales, and tequila.
Okay. I'm with that. I'm with it all.
So we're going to let you know how that road. I believe that is the 29th. I believe that's the 29th. Yeah. So, yeah, today's Thursday. That's Saturday.
Oh, it's this weekend.
Yeah,
somewhere in
gotta
my
keep up.
mind, I am thinking this is Cinco de Mayo weekend. Because I'm so all over the place. I think it's my child traveling to South Korea that got me a little Twitter page.
You would definitely be a little discombobulated. Absolutely.
So I think that's what that is.
Well, it's Thursday. Let's get it together.
Get it together.
On High 702.5 FM. And if you want to join us at the Foodie Fest, we will be there. We will likely do 2 days. We'll do Cinco de Mayo the 5th, and we will do Saturday the 6th to cover the areas. It's pretty big. We covered it last year. We did a commercial last year, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then before that, we have been going to these foodie things even before that.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
When it was over out at the Silverton's parking lot.
They have one at
Green
the
Valley.
M Resort. I know they have one at M Resort.
Yeah, and then Green Valley.
They just,
and so now it's Craig
like
Ranch.
that.
So Craig Ranch is pretty nice in that it really puts the vendors and the trucks in a nice setup. So I love it. Plus it allows the kids to play at the park. They got the park that's kind of right there next to it. And then it's a little dusty.
Yeah, it
so
is dusty.
be very aware of that it is pretty dusty because many of the trucks are on the line or on the little,
the dirt.
pretty much.
So just
They're on the
know
dirt.
you wear your nice tennis shoes. They might not be your nice tennis shoes.
And the nice
when
part
you
is,
leave.
that's correct. Get you some old,
some
old
They're not
schools.
gonna be nice no more.
Get somebody else to do it. So yeah, they're pretty nice. I enjoyed it. And then that's what we'll be on Friday and Saturday, Cinco de Mayo. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else going on?
It's gonna be a busy weekend that weekend.
It's always a
period.
busy weekend. I love
We'll
it.
have I'm sure, a more little rundown for you come next Thursday. We'll have a rundown of
We'll
all
also
the
be
stuff
giving away
that's
tickets
popping.
again. So we're going to need you to call in and join the festivities. I don't know why y'all don't want to call in and interact.
I know.
You got
Talk
the
to us.
experts here right now.
Talk to us.
702-551-5261 while there's still time.
Bring something heavy. You can bring something light. We'll take it all. We love challenging questions. We like light stuff too, but we like to be stretched a little bit. We do appreciate
Because there's no
that.
topic we can't cover. That's what that's about. It really isn't. There's a lot of wisdom here. And that's why we choose to do the show, and that's why we tell you to get it together. And we're going to get it together. We really are.
Yeah.
There's
Even us.
even us. Hence the name. So,
Even
yeah,
us.
so I'm looking forward to the festivities. They
Okay.
start this weekend.
Okay.
I am really excited. I want to say to anybody who's listening and watching that it's never too late to do anything that challenges you. And I want to tell you something very, very interesting about challenging your mind, because your mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Right.
Some of the things you can avoid, like Alzheimer's and dementia, and some of the things that hit people later on in life, when you challenge yourself to use a lot of portion of your brain. So I say all that because I just recently today I had to take a test, and it was a 100-question test, and it pushed me to the limits to my memory and common sense.
Yes. You know, that's so important, because you can, common sense sometimes, if it makes sense, sometimes you can choose the right answer.
That's right.
Just because it makes
Right.
sense.
Like if the name is in the sentence, it's highly likely that the name is in the answer,
Right.
depending on what it is, type
Right.
stuff. So association and memory. So, anybody out there that's challenging themselves to do something that's difficult or that you anticipate to be a challenge, I push you and I challenge you to do it.
Keep that mind sharp.
Yeah, keep your mind sharp. Keep your mind sharp. I think that's extremely important in this day and age. So, I really enjoyed this conversation. I really thank all the listeners that tune in every Thursday. And, thank you very much.
Yes, I'm very proud that you passed your test and did well.
I feel like Gene of all trades, for real, for real.
I know.
Like,
I mean, is
what
there
the-
nothing that she can't do or hasn't participated in?
Except that $1 million in the bank.
Right.
And that's coming. You better believe.
It's coming.
I'm
you
climbing.
spoke it. You already spoke it,
Yeah.
so I accept
Yeah.
it. So
'Cause
we
really,
were in agreement.
We're rich in spirit. Let's be clear. We're rich in spirit. So I send blessings and love and prosperity and all of the good things that life has to offer
Yes,
abroad
indeed.
to all the listeners.
Yep.
Hot 702.5 FM is hot, and it's literally hot.
It's
We are in
Vegas hot. Vegas hot.
Anyway, so you will join us again next Thursday,
Thursday.
every Thursday, right here at 6 p.m. It is Get It Together with Jnine,
And Jezzi.
and we out.